Hello, investors. This is Connor Bates, Associate Portfolio Manager with Revere Asset Management. Today is Wednesday, November 19th, 4:35 p.m. Eastern Time. Come to with tonight's Revere Roundup Daily Market Insight video. Market state, we are in a mild correction. If you take a look at trend gauge here on the right side of the screen, market leaders, red arrow, just not ideal environment for growth stocks right now. Short term, we're below the 21 EMA. Medium term, below the 50-day moving average, and long term, above the 200-day moving average. What happened today? Slight green day for the market, some growth names bouncing, but really all eyes on Nvidia earnings, and I'll cover them. Currently, it's up before I started the video, and we'll dive into that when we get into the charts. 21 over 21 list up 1.06%, 13 green, 1 neutral, 7 red. Turbo 12 up 0.93%, 7 green, 5 red. Big 8 up 0.12, RG8 up 0.28, S&P 500 up 0.38%, Equal 8 down 0.3%, QQQ up 0.58%, Equal 8 flat, Dow Jones Industrial Average up 0.09%, mid caps up 0.12%, Russell 2000 flat, 60/40 stock and bond flat, GROTECTION up 0.26%, and TurboTection flat on the day, down 0.01%. Let's get into the inter-asset correlation. And as always, try the S&P 500. And again, below the 21 and 50 day, wind is not behind our back when that is the case. And again, the 8 EMA cross below the 21 EMA, but 65.50, that's key level. That was these 10-10 lows. So watch that to hold. They're holding for now. And if that holds, maybe we're just making a new trading range between 69.20 and 65.50. And maybe just needs a little bit more chop. But you know, although below the 821 and 50 day, it's going to be a tougher environment, but still this chart looks semi-constructed, and we look the weekly here. Nothing looks too bad. RSP again continues just to display the lack of breadth in this market and how it's been largely an AI driven bull market. And again, these are below December area 2024 highs. So basically a year of nothing for RSP. Q, similar look as well, watch these 10-10 lows to hold, but again, below the 821 and 50-day moving average. Mags potentially trying to hold these 10-10 lows as well. See if this can perhaps get a wedge pop. Stochastic's pretty oversold. Dow Jones, tight day, but below the 50-day. Mid caps, maybe an undercut and rally of this 3160 spot, but again, fouled this breakout zone and just no strength. Relative strength line continues to make lower highs. Russ 2000 just needs some time. Gonna need some time. 2400 would be the first level really to get back above. And then it's about remounting those moving averages, putting in a higher low, getting tight, the type of action that you want to see coming out of a pullback. ARC, again, a good picture, good depiction of what we have seen in some of the growth stocks. FFTY holding the 200 day, that's a good start. 34.26, that's a big left side high from 2024. So perhaps reclaim that. That'd be a nice undercut and rally setup. VIX, as long as the VIX is over, 2022, expect it to be harder. You don't want to be buying breakouts with the VIX elevated, a lot more failure prone, more volatility, easier to get shaken out. And again, just as long as this is living in above this 2022 range, just a sign to reduce size, less trades, and that's kind of how we're approaching. And if you're going to buy something, making it smaller size. But again, VIX is not giving up much. The dollar trying to reclaim the 200-day moving average, big bottoming base. This could potentially be negative for equities. Yeah, looking like it's going to break out here. Gold, kind of a power sitting right at the 821, 50 days catching up to price. GDX, similar thing, got a downtrend line here from the highs, maybe tries to break out. Silver holding up good as well. Bitcoin, just no bid whatsoever, just free falling. Kind of talked about how this was 2-3 weeks ago in some of my insight videos, talked about how this was showing characteristics of a stage 3 top. breaking lower through the stage 3 top, and now this is entering stage 4 relative strength line. So again, Bitcoin's a no touch for us until it can stabilize. And yeah, Bitcoin's flat on the year. Bonds potentially forming a bear flag here, TLT as well, and that means that rates are trying to perk back up, break out through these bases. All right, that's the interest correlation. Take a look, tape percent of stocks above the 5-day moving average. Only 30% for the S&P 500 and 38% for the NASDAQ 100. So operating on that bear case with the sustained break below the 21 EMA. Tomorrow, labor market data. Today's keys, S&P closed below the 50-day, but holding the 100-day. Same with the Qs, and then the Russ 2000 below the 100-day, but above the 150-day. And going into Thursday, we're going to be watching the same stuff. Consolidation day 1, 5 days below the 8 EMA, 5 days below the 21 EMA. Sectors wise, uranium, semiconductors, rare earth, regional banks, and then weakness wise, China, Bitcoin, retail, oil, biotech, and airlines. GROTECTION, no changes today, 0.66 beta. Estimated balance at risk minus 3.03%. TurboTection sold Micron and Iron, bought GLD and GH 0.58 RVAB. Estimated balance at risk minus 3.08. Bottom line, weak market. Can Nvidia earnings save it? All right, let's take a look. So let's take a look at Nvidia. Currently up 3.38% at 192. So this 200 spot's going to be a big level. And again, question is, kind of a small gap up. The implied move is around 7%, right? This is a $4 trillion company. It's not going to have these outrageous moves on earnings anymore. It's much more mature, but again, they have pretty good earnings, right? Earnings of 1.3, EPS of 1.3, beating expectations of 1.25, revenue of 57 billion, beating expectations of 54.9 billion. And then they said Blackwell sales are off the charts and cloud GPUs are sold out. Compute demand keeps accelerating and compounding across training and inference, each growing exponentially. So again, good report. Nice to see this green. This is also moving some of the AI data center names as well, right? BE up 4%. NVIS up almost 7% above 100. CoreWeave, horrible chart, but again, up 6%. So the main thing, Iron and R1 up 7, up almost 8%. So the main thing to watch out for is this going to get sold into tomorrow, or is this going to hold? And that's really the main thing. The earnings are good. The reaction so far is good. And now we're just going to see, is this going to be used as liquidity for institutions to sell into, or is this a meaningful catalyst for the market to kind of start acting better and rallying back up? So seeing Nvidia up and a lot of the AI data center complex up. So that's a good sign right now. But again, super early. This could drastically change by the open tomorrow. But again, that's good to see. And if we look at the semiconductor index, was sitting right at the 50-day moving average, and this is up to almost 2.5% after hours. All right, 21 over 21 list. Light, again, moving up after hours in sympathy. This has just been a monster. Telecom, fiber optic stocks have been extremely strong. GEV, this one's got a really nice base, has held up better than a lot of things, so worth watching. CLS, again, nice relative strength. Now this one's up 5% on Nvidia earnings. ISRG in the medical area had this earnings gap, pulled back, built higher low, broke out, came back in with the market, bounced off the 21 EMA. Teradyne undercut, didn't quite undercut gap day lows, but reclaimed the 21, looking pretty good. Eli Lilly, just enormous strength, continuing higher out of a huge base. CrowdStrike sitting right at the 50-day moving average. Hopefully this isn't a failed breakout. Cisco, nice tight earnings continuation flag setup. Cat, another one. Downtrend line here from the highs. This one's looking constructive. GDX covered that. Sienna, another one in this telecom fiber optics. Got a downtrend line here from the highs, sitting at the 21-day, looks constructive. CRS, Nice consolidation here at the highs. Sandus up another 5% after hours. This one looks extremely well and forming yet another high tight flag. For solar, sitting right at the 21 day, some of the solar stocks have been acting quite well. RTX consolidating at the highs. LVS in the leisure and gaming equipment sector flagging at the highs. Micron getting some sympathy back up 3% on Nvidia earnings. HAL just kind of consolidating. INCY, another medical name, pulling back to the 21. Valero trying to come out of the space. And then AMD up 3%. Almost touched the 50-day, but again, this one's held up pretty well. And if the market starts to bounce, we expect this to lead semiconductors. All right, Turbo 12, GRAL. This is in cancer diagnostics, medical name again. Nice, like high tight flag-esque look. Strong day up 8%. SQM, really strong after this base breakout in this chemical. The 142nd ranked industry group. So if it wants to move higher, it's got some room. Guardian Health bought this in Turbo, trying to break out of this tight range. REMX, rare earth metals. This one of the better sectors. MP got some news that propped it up. But again, rare earths were one of the first sectors to start getting destroyed, but REMX has held up well. This does have some foreign names. That's also reasons holding up so strong. Sphere continuing higher. Not a lot of people talk about this name, but great action there. Covered Sandus, DOCN. Watch this 4702 spot. It's left side high, but again, really nice chart. CSIQ, this one got hit with a double downgrade, but bounced off the 21 EMA. And this again is in the solar sector. Not often that you see solar as the fourth ranked industry group. So nevertheless, this has been holding up quite well. LQDA, another medical name, potentially trying to break out of this flat base. LABU, this is the 3X XBI ETF. Take a look at XBI. Again, looks good. Great RS. VIAV, again, sitting right at 21 after this earnings gap, and then Figure came back. Looked like it was trying to come out through this 45 level, but came back in. So we'll see. Some other charts of note of interest. ASML, it's high price, but again, this is holding up at the highs, extremely nice. AMAT, this is another one similar, semiconductor equipment, has a really nice base. Look, the weekly huge base. This is still trading below 2024 high. So perhaps if these can break out, these have really nice looks. It's covered BE, right, sitting at the 50-day, up 5.5% on Nvidia earnings. So perhaps that's a catalyst to propel this one higher. And then some other ones. Uranium was up today. And again, kind of has we talked about this on the morning call today. Some of these names, although their charts are broken, they're below the 821 50-day. That's not ideal. It's going to lead to a lot of frustration, but some of them have the stopped going down look. URA is a good example. LEU as well, kind of broken chart. But again, if this can reclaim this 265 level, that's a pretty valid undercut and reclaim. And again, this has been a strong name in the alternative energy space. Daily stochastics pretty buried. So this one's kind of trying to hook back up. BE is another one. NBIS, this one got a $175 price target raise, and this is getting back above 100. Again, super choppy base, but again, some of these names have pretty big fundamental drivers. So likely going to need more time, but you don't want to write them out and just watch if they can start to base out, form higher lows, get some tightness in the charts, allow time for the moving averages to realign and have that positive slope, that 821.50 200-day. But again, looking at Nvidia, currently up almost 4% after hours. This is back reclaiming all the key moving averages. Very important stock for the market. So that is a good thing that the bulls wanted to see. And then otherwise, just tracking relative strength, names like Light, ones that are holding up when the market starts to get more favorable. These should be the ones that lead. And then other names that have pulled back, watch the weekly moving averages and see if you start to get tightness and better risk to reward. And looking for the VIX to get back below 20. Those would be all signs indicative of a more positive environment. And again, there's a lot of fear in the markets. CNN fear and greed's at extreme fear. And a lot of the secondary indicators like the NASI, NICE, NAMO are all pretty buried. So just combination of that, and that's kind of everything we're watching. So we will see if this gap on Nvidia holds in tomorrow. That is going to wrap it. As always, like to hear from you. My email is connor@revereasset.com. You can also reach out to me on Twitter at ConnorJBates_. And if you guys like the video, give it a like, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys for watching, and have a great night.